Hey guys, what's up? My name is Cameron Penner, and welcome back to the wonderful series where I go through every single action in Game Maker, every single drag and drop action, that is, and tell you how it works, and also give you the equivalent in GML code. So we're gonna jump right on in and start with this one. So jump to position, what it does is sets your X position to a variable and your Y position to a variable. So what this will do is if we have our object in the room right here and we run this, then when the game starts, it will set his position to 64, which is about here. So we're going to run this. And you're going to see his position is right there. Say you want him to jump somewhere just to the side of him. That is perfectly acceptable. Like say for walking in a platform game, like you may have seen me do in previous tutorials if you're a subber to me, or you just like my videos. We can hit the relative button, and what this will do is if we change this to step or keyboard space, then when we run this, then when we hold down the space button, he will jump to the right of himself. And every single step, 30 times a second, he will set his X position relative to 4. And this works with Y too. You can make him go down at the same time if you want. And now we're going to go to the next one. And what that does is we're going to delete that. Is it jumps to start. So we're going to say add event, create. We're going to jump to 100 to the right. And 5 to the side. Actually, we're going to cut that and put it in keyboard left. No, this is going to get a little messy. Anyways, what this is going to do is he's going to jump him somewhere, and then when I hit the space button, he's going to jump back. He's going to jump back to the start. And create doesn't matter at all. But when you see this, the game starts. Guys, they're going to hit the left button, and he's going to move him somewhere random. And when I hit the space bar, bam, sets him back to its starting position. This is nice for, say, restarting a character in a game or such stuff. So now we have this. Jump to random, snap horizontal. And you can say 0. And what this is going to do is when we run this, and we hold down our space bar, you will jump to random places in the world. So that's what that does. But also, you can make this snap to a grid. So we can say make a very large grid, 64 by 64. Now when we run this, you're going to see he only snaps to things that are 64s. And that is 64, which is kind of cool. And he'll stay in the screen, so that's good. So if we set this to like 320 by 320, we're gonna see he's gonna kind of. I think you get the picture already, but these are kind of only his only options, and he's gonna use them all up. So, anyways, that's what jump random is. And now there's also align to grid. And so we can say set grid 32, and when we hit space, it'll do that. And we can say create event, start moving to the right, speed of 5. He'll start moving to the right. And I'm going to be like, wait a sec, I want you to stay aligned to the grid. And so, whatever. So that it can be used for one thing, but I like to use it. And this is why am I stuttering? That makes no sense. So we're going to go to our step event, and we're going to make him every step he's going to align to the grid. But he's also going to jump to the position of mouse underscore X, mouse underscore Y. What that'll do is he'll set his position to wherever the mouse is, and then he will align to the grid. This is really cool for games that are grid-based. Can see he stays snapped to the grid. This is super useful. And our position on the ball here is in the top left corner. You can change that just by hitting center. I'll put it in the middle. But that's not as good for grid-based games. But either way, you'll see that align to grid thing is super great. Then there's also wrap screen. So if we create and we start moving to the right, speed of 5, and we step and we say other outside room. So if this guy's outside the room, we're going to wrap screen. And right now we can just do horizontal, but I'm just going to say in both directions. And actually we'll just toss one of these in there. And now when we run this, he's gonna, when he gets outside the screen, he's gonna wrap around. He's a rapper. So yeah, so this is when he gets outside the room, he's gonna wrap around and come back. So now we're on to move to contact. And this one, what you do is you choose a direction, and then you choose the distance that you want him to go, the maximum distance, and then you choose what objects you want him to stop against. And so we're going to say 0, and we're going to say our maximum is -1. If you put -1 here, then he'll move infinitely far before he'll stop. So we have our room set up. Our object ball is right here, and he is going to move in the direction 0, which is straight to the right, and he's going to stop when he hits a solid object. And our box is not solid, so we're going to make it solid. And we're going to say okay. Okay, and now when we run this, then you'll see that our ball just went and stopped right on the wall there. So if we had set a limit to it, say maximum of 64, then the ball would have stopped. Say if we set it back here, then you can see if we run it, then he'll just move his 64 pixels and then he won't go any further than that. But if we have it right up against here, then, and we can change the direction here and you'll see what happens. And then now when we run this, you're going to see our ball went from right here and he just went up 45 degrees until he found a contact position. And then he stopped. Now if we had an object that was non-solid, and we'll just give it the same sprite for now, and we're not going to check solid, then we can put this object right in this room here. You're going to see if we set this back to -1 and make sure that this box will catch him, move this non-solid right around so you can just see that very nicely. If you have objects in your room like little butterflies flying around that are just there for the look, or if you have a tree object that is just there just for looks, then your guy won't stop when he hits that, and then he can just go straight through it, and he can get straight to the solid walls rather than conflicting with all those trivial trees. Also, if you just say all objects, then of course he'll move to contact position with all objects. Just like that. Alright. So next we have bouncing. Don't we all love to bounce? And we're going to add a collision with the box. We're going to say bounce against solid objects. Not precisely. For now, I'll show you what happens when you check precise. So we're going to start moving in the direction of 6, speed of 6, direction 0, because it's H speed. But you see he went and he collided with that box, and we're going to move him further back, right about there. And now we'll run it. Hit F5 to just run the game. By the way, tricks. And he bounced. He surely bounced off of that thing. And now say we have a box here, and you want this guy to what is happening? You want this guy to move, and then he's going to hit this and bounce off in a direction. If you just run this and he's bouncing not precisely, he's going to change direction. He's going to reverse, pretty much. Very simple. This is a lot faster for your computer to do. But if you say precisely, then he's going to go like this, and he's going to bounce off. And depending on the shape of your object, he'll bounce. bounce. Anyways, so hopefully that makes sense. You do that in collision with objects, by the way. So hopefully that all made sense. And now we're going to move on to code. Code for the stuff, because that is what we're doing. So to jump to position, like our first thing, we can say x equals 5. End statement. Y equals 100. End of statement. Now, when we run this, it will do the same thing as if we had done like this. Ba-bam-o, 5, 100. So this will just set our position. We can delete that. And we run this, we're going to see he's going to move from there to there. And that is exactly what we want him to do. That is great. Say we want to move relative. We can say x equals x plus 5 and y equals y plus 100. And the spacing doesn't really matter how many spaces you put in here. So you just do whatever looks good. But yeah, so now you're going to see he's going to move relative to where he is. And when we run that, boop, he did. I was right. So now we're going to move on to the next one, which is move to start. And what you do to do that is you say x equals x start. And y equals y start. I'll move my mouse so you can see that. Pretty simple. We can take this and cut it and put it in the space thing and create. He'll start moving to the right. Now when we run this, every time I hit space or hold down space, he'll go to his starting position. And I took the bouncing out, so you'll see he'll just go right through there. But now we also want jump to random position, and so we can delete that. But we'll say to move to random, we use the command move mavo. Try that again. Random. And I just hit enter to finish the typing because GameMaker finishes typing stuff for us. And so I just hit enter to select that. So yeah, open our bracket and we do our H snap, which you can say 0 to make him just go absolutely anywhere, or you can give him a nice snapping number. And then you put your second parameter for V snap, close your bracket, semicolon to end your statement. Now when we run this, you're going to see our ball is going to move snapped to the grid. So that works great. Our next one is align to grid, this little guy here. And to do that, you just move, change random to snap. So move underscore snap, open bracket, H snap, comma, V snap, end bracket, end statement with a semicolon. Now when we run that, he'll just snap to the grid. So that's pretty self-explanatory. And then there is wrap around the screen. So we're going to add event other outside room. We want to wrap around the screen. So we will say move underscore y-ray wrap. I'm not a typer, so that's my problem. Move wrap horizontal true, vertical true, and you can say false if you don't want it to wrap vertically or horizontally. And margin is, we're just going to say 0 for now. So now when we run this, absolutely nothing will happen. That was a terrible idea. But if we set the direction to 45 and our speed to 100 to 10 and we run that now, we're going to see our ball will wrap around the screen. But it looks kind of clippy because he wraps early, because our margin is 0. So if he's 0 outside the room, then he'll wrap already. And we don't want to do that. So we can say 16, and that is how far our object will need to be outside the room for you to not see him at all. And so then only when he's 16 pixels outside the room will he wrap. But what you can do is you can say sprite width divided by 2. And if your object is square, that'll work just fine. And if not, you can take vertical and you can say false. And then you can copy this all and make another one and say, don't wrap that way, say false, and say that is true. And now we put our sprite underscore height. Now what this does is it if our sprite is centered, then we can move wrap horizontally, yes, vertically, no. Sprite width here. That's how far outside the room. And so that should work. I'll run it. And there are more things you can do for different cases, and you can try to figure those out yourself in the future. Homework. That's what you can do for homework today. I'm assigning you homework, so you don't have to. Don't worry. I won't get upset with you if you don't. Now we want to move to contact, and to do that, you say move contact all. And then let's move this up a bit. Our direction, we're gonna say 0, or we'll say 90 today to go up, and our max distance, we're gonna say -1. So he goes as far as he can. And we're just gonna put a few of those there, so that now when we run it, what am I doing? I don't want that there. And I want this to be in the create event. And I want that gone. There. Now all we have is move to contact. So let's run that. And you'll see he did exactly that. So that worked perfectly. What else do we have left? Bouncing. All we have left is bouncing. We're almost done. Oh no. But now we're going to learn so much more yet. Collision with the box. Go to... Oh! What have I done? I missed something. Move, contact, solid. Don't forget about that one. If you want to move to only a solid contact, then you use this one instead, and you can set your direction to whatever you want, and your max distance to really super far, and he will do that. So yeah, contact solid. Don't forget that. Silly me. But here we're just gonna say h speed equals 5. There we go. Okay, we got it. So now when we collide with the box, we want him to bounce off of it. So we're going to say move. Oh no, bounce all. And there's also a solid option for this one. And now we say advanced bouncing. Are we going to move advancedly or not? And it says precise, I think, in the drag and drop thing. But yeah. So move bounce all. We're gonna say true. Yeah, let's do precise collision thinging. So now when we run this, you're gonna see he'll bounce off that solid object, and that one as well. So that's cool. And then you can just say false if you want him to just do simple bouncing. Fakesy with an L. So is that it? Is that all? That's all. We're done for today. Alright, so hopefully you learned something. If you didn't, keep watching these tutorials, because I'm going to get to like particles, and I'm going to get to some crazy draw things, and I'm going to get, to all these little question things that no one really ever understood. And these splash screens, which are weird, but they're cool. So yeah, I'm going to get to all that. I'm going to teach you guys GameMaker write-up. Not a write-up. But anyways, that's all for today. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy this video, click that thumbs up. It helps me wanna make more videos. And it also gets my videos more liked, I guess. And it's free. So go ahead and click it now. It'll help spread the word of tutorials and this series. So also, if you want to be notified when these next tutorials do come out, go ahead and subscribe. That's also free. So it's not like when you subscribe, then you have to lose a finger. If you want, you can click the subscribe button and also lose a finger. But I won't do it for you. So that's your own option. So yeah, also you can click the favorite button. I'm just promoting myself right now. I'm not going to give you any more information, so you can just leave. Or you can watch the next video. Probably out by the time you see this. Maybe. So, yeah. Hope you enjoyed. My name is Cameron Penner, once again. And I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching. See ya.